Hello, I'm Gurdeep Singh from Punjab, and today this is my first podcast about Gurbani. In this podcast, I will discuss what is Gurbani and how I came across, and what is my concept of Gurbani and why I love it. I hope that my listeners will benefit from my views. At least I would be able to expand their point of view, their views about Gurbani. By Gurbani, we means Guru's words, and Guru's words come in the form of poetry. They are kind of hymns composed in specific musical composition called ragas, and they have been documented in our great holy book. We call it Guru Granth Sahib. Shri Guru Granth Sahib. Shri Guru Granth Sahib is a documented evidence of Bhakti Kal, Bhakti movement that started in 14th century. And in Shri Guru Granth Sahib we have not only the compositions from Sikh Gurus but also from Bhagats who dominated, or in other words, who gave a specific orientation to the Bhakti movement in the history of India. Normally, Bhagats and Gurus, they are considered as a divine incarnation of God. But when we read Gurbani with interest, when we compare, when we analyze, then we arrive at a conclusion which is contrary to the traditional, conventional evidence, conventional tradition. So here we have to break away from the traditional path, and we have to eulogize, we have to describe everything afresh in the new concepts. All the concepts of the Gurbani or the way of living known as Gurmat need to be explained. It all starts with a few defining attempts which we find in the first couplet, the first part of Shri Guru Granth Sahib, which has been recorded in the beginning of the Granth, the Adi Granth. It is called Ekankar. Some people call it Ek Onkar, and it is deciphered as Kal 1 and a letter that denotes the sound of O. But this is a symbol. It has been created specifically by first Guru of Sikhs, Guru Nanak Dev. And then Ekankar has been explained. Ekankar stands alone, and it has been explained with the help of some adjectives. Its attributes are explained in the form of adjectives. It says, the first says, Satnam, Kartapur, Nirbhav, Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni Sabhang, Guru Prasad. This is known as the Mool Mantra, the original concept. Gurbani, the tradition of Gurbani revolves around this original concept. We find its evidence everywhere. It has been explained, delineated by Sikh Gurus elsewhere in the whole Holy Granth. What Ekankar is? If we want to explore what Ekankar is, we need to understand what attributes have been associated with this concept. Guru Nanak says that it is Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Happy Sach, Nanak in the past. It existed in the past as truth. It's the only truth, only true, something true beyond all deceptions and misconceptions in the beginning. In the beginning, not of the earth, but of the system, the whole system. This prevailed. This lived. Ad Sach. The next word is Jugad Sach. Since ages, since times immemorial, this has been true. And Happy Sach, in the present state, happy in the present times, it is true. Still, it is true. It has not changed its attributes. And finally, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach, in the times to come, this will ever remain true. What it could be? I was wondering what it could be. Everything in the whole system of the universe is changing. If I look, there's a change. It's a changing. What was true yesterday is not true today. You thought it otherwise, it's not true today. There's a change. New knowledge has been added. And if I look around the earth, then we have the solar system. The solar system itself is not stationary. Solar system itself is not stationary. It's a part of a constellation, big constellation. And it is changing its space. It's changing its place so fast, so quick. It is moving, flying through the space. Could it be the sun? Could it be the moon? Could it be the solar system? I was wondering. Could it be the constellations? No. Could it be the nature all around us? The leaves, the plants, the trees, and birds, the rivers and mountains? No. Because truth stands alone. Truth stands out, glaringly different. It can be identified, and we can say that only this thing is true, others are not true. They are changing, and they are changing their nature, their way, their behavior, everything. And what it could be, which has been represented by Sikhs in the form of Ekankar, about the global system, the universal system, and the system has been governed by some rules, some laws, some principles, which we have identified from the behavior of the natural phenomena. And we have been able to tell that of the light, and this is how, and this is the speed of the sun, this is the movement, this is the motion, everything we have explained with the help of those laws, and we have predicted. Yeah, I understood that laws of nature that prevail universally, they are true. And that prevail universally, they are true. And these laws have been defined in the books of science. We find it in physics, in chemistry, in biology, in botany, zoology, geology. The books of science, they contain all the laws. They are the laws of the nature. Because why they are the laws of the nature? Because they apply universally. They apply to everything. The laws of physics apply to everything that falls within the ambit of physical science. The laws of chemistry, the laws of elements, and they apply to elements which fall in the ambit of chemistry. Fire burns everywhere. It has burning temperature, it has ignition point, it has a melting point. But the laws of the nature are also changing. They change. This variation has been found, in my opinion. What governs the laws of the nature? At least there should be something when these laws stand in relation to one another. It's a whole fabric. Then I came to understand that there is one law that doesn't change, that remains true. And that law is the change, that remains true. And that law is the cause and effect. It's a law of cause and effect. Every effect, whatever happens in the nature, it has a cause. And one effect becomes the cause of the other effect. So all these causes, all these effects are interrelated, they are coordinated. There is a complete collaboration between all the laws. And there is no crash either. If something is bad, the effect is bad. If the cause is bad, the effect is bad. If the cause is good, the effect is good. This is true in the whole universal system. Only this found so far true. I give this attribute to Ekankar. Ekankar means the truth of the law of the nature, which connects a cause to the effect. And we need to understand. And this is the only law which supersedes all the laws of the nature, dominantly pervades through the whole fabric of nature, and it prevails upon everything. It applies to everything in the nature. Nothing goes beyond it. Nothing can escape from this law. It is true in our human body, it's true outside, in the nature, in the trees, in the plants, in the vegetations, in animals. And it is true, however, in the physics, chemistry of the nature. It's very important. One needs to understand. The Ekankar is a system of laws of the universe. I call it the order of life. I call it I call it the order of life. I call it the celestial order of life. There is a kind of a life. This is a life we find. It's a living thing because it's changing. It's a giving, birth to further more things. So we need to understand that to me, it means the universal laws of the natural laws of the celestial order. This is a kind of order. When I understand, when I define Ekankar, then I am able to understand its attributes as defined by Guru Nanak in Mool Mantra. Satnam, Karta Purak. It is behind the whole creation. It is Karta, creator, creator behind all the phenomena of the universe. This law, the law of cause and effect. Nirbhav, it has no enmity in Nirvair. It has no enmity at all. No enmity in Nirvair. It has no enmity at all. And it is fearless. It is unscared. It is moving. It doesn't bother anybody. And it has, it doesn't hold any kind of prejudice. Unprejudiced, without, a word of malice towards anybody. It is prevailing. Akal Murat. It is something that goes beyond the time, beyond the concept of time, beyond the understanding of the time. Timelessness is there. So big, so vast, so huge. Just look at the scale of and size of this law, the application of this law. How big? Even it is mind-boggling. Akal Murat. Ajuni Sabhang. Ajuni means there is no break. These breaks normally comes in the form of birth and death. It is incessant. The application of these laws is incessant. There is no stoppage. Nowhere in the whole history of the universe, nothing comes to stand still. It comes to stand still. It stops nowhere. This law applies continuously, incessantly, without halting, without stopping at a particular. That's great. And Swabhang means evolutionary. Whatever evolution, whatever the change occurs, it occurs from within. Yeah. And lastly is Guru Prasad. Guru Prasad means it is knowable. It is knowable. You can know about it. It can be known through some kind of orientation. One can know about it. It is Guru Prasad. And now, when we talk about the laws of the universe, when we talk about the scale, when we talk about the size, then we understand why Guru Nanak said that it is true in the beginning. It is true since ages. It will be true. It is true in the present, and it will be true in all times to come. This is how Guru Nanak has predicted. So we must understand that there is some kind of concrete information, concreteness in this concept, which is otherwise missing elsewhere in all the divinity, or elsewhere in all the divinity, or in all the divine poems, the divine poetry of somebody else. Gurbani is about, finally, the final word that I want to say before ending this podcast, that Gurbani is singing of the nature, the celestial order of life. We sing of the Shabads, the compositions of Gurbani. They are the songs, not far, but of the celestial order. Just to make you understand what the celestial order of life. That's the most important thing that I have come across. And that is why I say that Gurbani must be understood by one and all. It has a universal application. It is not supposed to be confined to Sikhs only. It doesn't belong to Sikhs only. It doesn't belong to one religion or one region only. It has a universal. And when you understand it, when you sing, when you understand its music, then you enjoy it. That joy is a perfect joy. It's a soul satisfying experience. So thanks for today. Tomorrow we'll think of its poetic application in Gurbani.